So we're going to jump back into Stephen Bradshaw's evidence to the Post Office Horizon IT inquiry, and he's asked about a witness statement that that is provided in a criminal case against a subpostmaster, where he espouses the robustness of Horizon and says that he's not aware of any issues 3 years after he's had some emails, both all internally, some identifying external sources, journalists looking into Horizon issues, as well as discussions with Fujitsu and other people at the post office at his level who were also discussing Horizon issues and arising cases. And he certainly seems to take the opinion that when he's taken back to his witness statement, which says he's not aware of any issues, he's not aware of any technical issues, he says that he only started reflecting on it now that he's just been shown the statement. But wasn't this provided as part of the bundle when he wrote his statement? The most shocking admission he makes is that he actually didn't write the statement, and this statement was drafted by Cartwright King and it was simply signed off by him. And he also indicates that this happened many times over many different cases, in the point clarified by Sir Wynne that multiple members of the security team were signing off very similar substantive statements without having the prerequisite technical knowledge to actually understand necessarily what they were signing off. Let's see what he has to say and jump into the inquiry.
Can we scroll over a couple of pages then to page 5, please? And this is the witness statement that you submitted. We have your name at the top there, and it says as follows. After a number of meetings between the Post Office management and members of Parliament in relation to the court cases, it was agreed that the Post Office would undertake an external review of the cases which had been raised by the members' constituents. As the Post Office continues to have absolute confidence in the robustness and integrity of its Horizon system and its branch accounting processes, it has no hesitation in agreeing to an external review of these few individual cases. In order to provide assurance to the interested parties, it was proposed that the review be undertaken by independent auditors, Second Sight, etc. So you've there said in a witness statement that the Post Office continues to have absolute confidence in the robustness and integrity of its Horizon system. Having given the evidence that you've just given about your lack of knowledge of the system, your lack of knowledge of technical matters, do you think it was appropriate for you to write that in a witness statement, that the Post Office has absolute confidence in the robustness and integrity of the Horizon system?
I was given that statement by Cartwright King and told to put that statement through. In hindsight, after I've put further in my previous statements, there probably should have been another line stating that these are not my words, but the statement is produced as a business statement. I did not write that statement. We were told by Cartwright King to put that in.
Well, that would be quite an important thing to include in the witness statement, because the court is going to conclude that if you put it in your own witness statement, it's from yourself. I guess the kind of thing that he may be coming to here is essentially, I was towing the party line, that's what I was told, and that's why he said, actually, I wasn't actually told from above there were any issues with Horizon. But confidence in making that statement is surely diminished by these ad hoc emails that are coming in, quoting journalists and sub-postmasters, as well as internal emails about rising numbers of cases that actually, even if I might feel confident making that statement and towing the party line, if none of this was happening, given this extra information that is coming to me from my equals, from other sources, you would think it would make you think twice about that. So it'll be interesting to see who directed him to include that in his witness statement.
Told you to put it in?
It'd be one of the three members of Cartwright King, Martin Smith, Andrew Bradshaw, Rachel Panther. Will come from one of them.
So they drafted the entire statement and sent it to you, did they?
That's correct, yes.
And you didn't question it, you just signed it off?
Well, whether it was questioned at the time, I would have been concerned, but we were given the assurance that everything was fine to put that through, and they wanted to put it through. Nowadays, I wouldn't have put it at all with what's known, but the hindsight.
We began half an hour ago or 20 minutes ago by looking at your witness statement for this inquiry and looking at what appears to be a lack of reflection in that statement. My having produced something like this, have caused you to reflect on your involvement in
It
something?
may have done at the time, but it is some 11 years ago.
And you didn't think to yourself, I produced a witness statement in criminal proceedings that could cause somebody to go to prison, and I signed off the robustness of the Horizon system. That wasn't something that you thought you should reflect on in your witness statement?
As I said, this statement was given to me by Cartwright King, and we were told to put the statement through.
And how many
on
times?
Reflection, yes, when you look at it, but as I say, it's some 11 years ago, and a number of statements have been produced since.
But you were at the post office in a significant role during the group litigation, during the Court of Appeal proceedings, throughout this inquiry, and you didn't think back and perhaps regret having submitted a witness statement such as this in criminal proceedings?
As I say, with hindsight, it's regrettable that the statement went through like that, as if it's my words, which is not correct.
But it hasn't caused you any moment of reflection?
Of course it causes moments of reflection, because you look at it and go, that's completely wrong, because somebody's told me to put a statement through like that.
Do you know how many times you submitted statements like this?
Like that one, I couldn't say. It probably, that statement could have gone in from everybody within the security team to just about whatever case inquiry was ongoing at the time.
Sorry.
Well, that's a massive admission, isn't it? I don't believe in any of these statements. So, well, at least not in hindsight now, and I didn't write them, but they could have been submitted countless times in the prosecutions criminally against postmasters, potentially resulting in them go to prison, as well as civil judgments being awarded against them. Wow.
Are you saying that a statement in this form was probably made by other members of the security team in other cases, and on each occasion it was a statement drafted for them by a firm of solicitors, and they just put their name to it?
Sort of say, yes. Well, what it would be is that, as each case do, when the file's gone to the criminal law team, or in this case Cartwright King, they have given that statement to draft to put through as the integrity of the Horizon system at the time. That come from the lawyers.
Could we scroll down on the page, please? I'll just read another paragraph from this statement. It says at the bottom, all of the above is accepted based on the terms of review being carried out, but this is in no way an acknowledgement by the Post Office that there is an issue with Horizon. Over the past 10 years, many millions of branch reconciliations have been carried out, with transactions and balances accurately recorded by more than 25,000 different sub-postmasters, and the Horizon system continues to work properly in post offices across the length and breadth of the UK. When the system has been challenged in criminal courts, it has been successfully defended. And that's a 2013 witness statement. Thank you, that can come down. Mr. Bradshaw, in a request that was sent to you for a witness statement, there were a series of general questions. You have them in the bundle in front of you, but I can read them out. For example, to what extent, if any, did you consider a challenge to the integrity of Horizon in one case to be relevant to other ongoing or future cases? To what extent, if any, do you consider the investigation into bugs, errors or defects in Horizon was sufficiently carried out by the Post Office? Please set out your reasons in detail. To what extent, if any, do you consider information regarding bugs, errors and defects in Horizon was sufficiently passed to the Post Office by Fujitsu? Please set out your reasons in detail. To what extent, if any, do you consider you had sufficient information regarding bugs, errors and defects in Horizon? Who provided you with information, and if not, who should have? Looking back, do you have any reflections on these matters or any other matters relevant to the inquiry's terms of reference? Are there any other matters that you wish to bring to the attention of the chair of the inquiry? Could I ask for your witness statement, your first witness statement, to be brought back on screen, please? WITN 044-50100. And it's page 14, please, of that first statement. If we could scroll down slightly, these are your answers to that general section. We've been over them already this morning. I don't know what technical issues were investigated. I can't recall, if any, what information I received concerning bugs, errors, or defects. As somebody who wrote a witness statement in criminal proceedings in such strong, confident terms as we have just seen, might it have been sensible to have attempted to answer those questions that I've just gone through in a bit more detail?
If I remember fully that statement, now I've seen the statements and remember, Cartwright King, who gave us that statement to produce. I just didn't, for them sorts of questions with that. It's just completely, it's a statement that. That's one of the few times I would say I don't recall that statement.
I mean, he was provided an awful lot of documents by the inquiry to produce that statement. I mean, was that not one of them? I mean, I would have imagined it would have been, but maybe it wasn't.
So when you came to draft your witness statement with those 200 documents that were provided to you by the inquiry, that statement, you didn't think, I've submitted some statements in criminal proceedings, may have caused somebody to go to prison. I signed off Horizon.
As I said, I went through it, as many documents and tried to bring, but there was an awful lot of documents to try and put together with the statements.
So is that the documents weren't there, or I didn't have enough time to go through them, or with everything else that I was doing, those would be two entirely different things, obviously.
Thank you, that can come down. You said that statement came from Cartwright King, who asked you to sign it. Do you know how that statement came to be drafted?
It was drafted by Cartwright King and the post office.
And the post office?
The post office above, whether it's head of security upwards, I'm not sure.